Hello, I'm Michelle Conway. I'm 63 years old and I have Parkinson's disease. I've had it for 24 years of my life, and I was diagnosed in 1995 with idiopathic Parkinson's disease, which means no known cause. I guess it's one way of saying I don't know. Okay, today I'd like to focus on the clinical trials in Bristol, which have been dealing with what was hoping to be good news, the drug called GNLD, which is supposed to, or was going to reverse or retard the death of brain cells, which causes Parkinson's in people. So today we look at the selection criteria first of all. My first observation, and maybe a challenge, I don't know. I'd like to put on record that I think there was a failure in the way this was formulated. Dr. Wone was in charge of the selection. He wanted people between early diagnosed and mid-diagnosed, not advanced, because advanced have lost all but depleted their brain cells that produce dopamine, which is what causes Parkinson's. So, but then it was obvious and evident that at least one person had been selected from the advanced category and placed into the selection trials. So one has to now question this, because what would have happened is that he would have shown very little, and in fact did very little change with the drug that was infused into him, despite the fact that he had a loose connection in his brain, in his skull. I have to question this: how much did his dismal scores affect the outcome of this trial? Was it by 20%? Was the fact that he was so low the cause of the failure? There may have been more than one person in the advanced category. I'm sure there was at least one more whose scores must have affected the better scores. Incidentally, the good scores were from people who improved dramatically. It was almost miraculous the way that they responded. They were running around, doing painting, smiling, playing football, doing gardening. It's amazing. So obviously there was a change there. But sadly they have been affected by the overall scores, and have not been. They'll be jeopardised by the fact that trials are finished now. As far as I know, maybe more in the pipeline. So why was the advanced patients put into those categories? I believe it's probably a case of compassion. They'd suffered for so long, and I know what it's like to suffer with Parkinson's. I've been there, and I'm there now. It's horrendous and relentless. It carries on every day. Where you wake up and every night you go to sleep. It's always there to remind you that you have Parkinson's. Secondly, how was the 20% derived by the ethics committee, or by Dr. Wone and the ethics committee? Was it a thumbs up, one of those, or was it empirically analysed and put into some format that we could all read? Okay. Thirdly, how was a big pharmaceutical group allowed to walk in and walk out at their will with no contractual obligations? Surely there was a contract to secure their support when they just declared that they would help. The way I see it was that they saw that there was a possibility that the drug would work, and they then moved in and pledged their support. But suddenly, when it was a failure, they were gone. Now I think this is disgusting. I'd like someone please to either write to me, email me, or even put on video why this big pharmaceutical group, the biggest in the world, was allowed to just walk in and walk out ad lib. This is the face of 10 million Parkinson's people, and I'd like to know, for them as well, why we've been deprived of an opportunity to reverse our situation. Obviously, the advanced people among us will have a bit of a better chance, but I'd like to know, speaking on behalf of all those people, why you walked in and why you walked out. Okay, that's all from me. Take care. Bye.